Hello, dear students. Today we'll be talking about unemployment. We'll be seeing what unemployment is, and we'll be seeing some concepts of some key concepts under unemployment, and we'll be seeing the different types of unemployment, and we'll be seeing the cost of unemployment, and we'll also see the benefits of unemployment, and lastly, we're going to see how unemployment can be cut down. So, we start with the very first. What is unemployment? Several times people we just take people who don't have a job. We say they are unemployed. You find someone who is idle. You call the person unemployed. No, being unemployed is not a matter of choice. It's a matter of conditions beyond your control. For instance, if I decide not to get paid jobs, if I decide not to work, I am not unemployed. I hope that becomes very clear to us. Now, what is unemployment? Unemployment is a situation, an economic condition in the economy where those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs cannot find paid jobs. Those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs cannot find paid jobs. Meaning that if I deliberately refuse to work, then I am not unemployed. So, now, for us to understand the concept of unemployment, let's first understand what we call the labor force of a country. The labor force of a country. When we talk about the labor force of the country, we are talking about those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs. They might actually be actively employed or still looking for jobs, but they make up the labor force of the country. So when a person deliberately refuses to work, or a person for one reason or the other is not able to work, you don't count that person under the unemployed population, or perhaps that person is not counted under the labor force of the country. So when we talk about unemployment, we mean those who are willing. They are willing, they want to get jobs. And it doesn't only end on being willing, it also goes to they are able, it also goes to the ability, they are able to take up these paid jobs, but yet they can't find these paid jobs. Then we call them the unemployed population. We call them the labor force of the country. So, like I said, labor force goes beyond, because labor force doesn't only end with the unemployed, it also goes beyond, and it also touches those who are already actively employed. So we put them all together. So when we talk about the labor force of the country, we mean those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs. Okay, they can either be working or not, but they are able and willing. So when we talk about the unemployed population, we are actually talking about those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs but can't find these paid jobs. Which means by that we exclude those who are sick and lying down in the hospital. We exclude those who deliberately don't want to work. We exclude those who are still undergoing training, like children who are not up to they are not the employment age. You see, so we exclude all those the population. We exclude those who are on retirement, so they don't make up the unemployed population. So it's good we make that particular difference clear to us. Now, so that is what employment is all about, or unemployment is all about. So we have said unemployment is a situation, an economic situation in the economy where those who are willing and able to take up paid jobs cannot find these paid jobs. So it will interest us to know the different types of unemployment. There are different types of unemployment. So it's good we identify each of them. Well, there are so many, but we are going to limit ourselves on a very few. So the very first type of unemployment I want us to see here is demand deficient unemployment. It's also known as mass unemployment, or it's also known as the cyclical unemployment. Now, what is this type of unemployment? It's actually a serious type of unemployment that is caused by a fall in the aggregate demand of goods and services. You see, so when the aggregate demand of goods and services starts falling, what happens? The firms will reduce their output, because firms produce so that people can buy. Now, if they produce and people don't buy, there's no need to produce. And as a result, firms start shrinking. And as they start shrinking, they start removing some workers. They start reducing their labor force. You see, they start reducing some workers, start warding off some workers. So that those ones who are losing their jobs due to this, that's what we call mass unemployment. We call that mass unemployment, or we call it demand deficient unemployment, we call it cyclical unemployment. Unemployment that is caused by a fall in aggregate demand, when the demand for goods and services starts falling, and this mostly occur when there is a fall in the supply of money, or it could also be caused by inflation. You see, when price of goods and services rise so high, that so much so that demand starts falling. When demand starts falling, what happens? There's the general fall now in sales, and as a result, firms can no longer keep this labor force, so they start removing them, start reducing them off. So that's what we call the demand deficient unemployment. There's another type of unemployment which we call the structural unemployment. What is a structural unemployment? This is a type of unemployment that is caused by a change in the structure of demand. You see, a change in the structure. It's also known as technological demand. This one occurs when maybe some workers that have been involved in producing a particular type of good, when that particular good becomes obsolete, when it becomes outdated, you see, and new good is now introduced into the economy. Those who were producing those outdated goods, they become unemployed. For instance, you might in those days who were fixing watches. In those days where watches were there were no phones, or maybe you see, those who were involved in producing or fixing or repairing these watches or radios. You see, when this advanced technology came in, or those who were also dealing with typewriters and selling typewriters or repairing typewriters, you see that at the end of the day, presently they will be unemployed. Why? Because that particular technology has passed. In this present technology, people have watches on their telephones, radios on their telephones. So as a result, all those who were involved in that particular outdated goods, they are become unemployed. So we call that structural unemployment. The next type of unemployment we're going to see is seasonal unemployment. By that word seasonal, at least you can give us a clue. Seasonal unemployment is unemployment that occurs due to a change in the seasons, the weather condition, or a change in seasons. For instance, a hunter. You see, a hunter has a season that he goes to the forest to hunt. So when that particular season of hunting is over, what happened? At that particular moment, he becomes unemployed. A good example also, those involved in the production of umbrellas. Certainly, they'll be very much employed during the rainy season. But when the dry season comes, they become redundant. Another good example also we can pick should be those like teachers. You see, teachers during the school period are very much employed, but during the holiday periods, they are redundant. So we call that seasonal unemployment. That is unemployment that occurs due to the changes in weather condition or seasons. So when the particular season favors the production of a particular good, those involved in the production of a particular good will be employed. But when that season is over, they become unemployed. We call that seasonal unemployment. There's another type of unemployment is frictional unemployment. One type of frictional unemployment is also known as transitional unemployment. It occurs when people may have just lost their jobs, they may have just lost their previous jobs, and during a moment where they lost their previous job, they are now looking for a new one. So during that particular moment, they are frictionally or transitionally unemployed. You see, when a worker is just from losing his first job and is now looking for another job, during that period where he's looking for another job, he is frictionally or transitionally unemployed. So when let's say a worker can be sacked. So now when he's sacked, from that moment where he's sacked, till the moment when he finds another job. That particular period of time he is transitionally unemployed. Sometimes also maybe somebody might deliberately resign from a job and wants to get training so can pick up another job. During that moment the person is frictionally or transitionally unemployed. The next type of unemployment we call residual unemployment. Well, so many economists have argued that frictional unemployment is not really called unemployment because these people are permanently unemployed. There's nothing you can do to solve their problem. We won't talk about residual unemployment. We'll talk about residual unemployment. It is we'll talk about people who are employed because they cannot take up paid jobs. You see, so this type of unemployment it covers the group of unemployed who are regarded as unemployable. You see, maybe it could be the sick. Okay, so people who are maybe sick, they can't work, so we call those ones are residual, by the word residual unemployment. So they are those people who are unemployable, they can't take up paid jobs, so we just put them there. There's another type of unemployment we call disguised unemployment. This disguised unemployment, another name for it is underemployment. You see, when people are working below their capacity. So you might say they are employed, but in reality, they are not doing or earning or exercising at full capacity. You see, they are working below their optimum capacity. So we call it disguise because in reality, they are unemployed. So it could be, let's take for instance, a teacher who can't find a school to teach full time, but has a school where maybe he teaches say 12 to 13 hours. So that's all he does for the whole week. So he has a lot of days that are still idle. He is willing to occupy those days, but there are no jobs. So at that moment we could say he's employed, but in reality he's unemployed. So it's disguised unemployment. So those are the few types of unemployment that we could list out. So we've seen the different types of unemployment. We've seen the seasonal unemployment, the residual unemployment, disguised unemployment, frictional unemployment, structural unemployment, and we've also had the mass unemployment. Now, it's also important for us to see the costs of unemployment, what it costs the economy at large when people are unemployed. So we're going to see there are three of these costs that we are going to see: the social cost, we're going to see the cost to the central treasury or to the state, and we're going to see the economic cost of unemployment. Let's start with the social cost of unemployment. Now, when we talk of the social cost of unemployment, we are talking about those social ills that are bound to plague the economy when people are unemployed. So we can list them. 4 in the standard of living. When a person is unemployed, cannot feed family, so the standard of living of his family members certainly will drop drastically. High crime waves. So that's a social cost. When people are unemployed, you can imagine what they say: an idle mind, a devil's workshop. It's real, right? It could be also high birth rate. Yeah, when people are unemployed, they are idle and they can procreate a lot. Okay. High dependency ratio. Yeah. What talk of dependency ratio will mean the total number of unemployed that depend on the employed. So it is going to lead to a very high dependency ratio, which brings a lot of problems. You see, so those are some of the social costs of unemployment. We move to the cost to the central treasury or to the state. Unemployment. This is what we realize, that at this level, the burden of this unemployment really rests on the shoulders of the central government or the state. It's going to increase it's going to increase the expenditure of the state expenditure. How? Because the state will have to take care of them, providing social amenities for them, providing unemployment benefits for them. You can imagine. The state is also going to lose a lot of money because the tax revenue that these people would have been giving to the government from their income tax, if they were gainfully employed, the government will not be getting this amount of money. You can imagine. So the government also loses some money from tax revenue because the government will not be able to collect tax from these individuals. But if they were gainfully employed, they would have been generating income and the government would have been collecting income tax from them. You see, so it's also going to lead to a loss in their social insurance fund because they are not employed, so they cannot pay their social insurance fund, and the government also is going to lose some money from this social insurance fund that they will not be paying. So these are actually what will cost the state government. This could be some of the cost to the government. Now we can move to the economic cost. This is what is going to cause the economy at large when people are unemployed. Yeah. It's going to cost the economy. So the first is going to be wastage of resources. These people are actually what we call human resources. When they are idling down there, it's economic resources that is actually wasting away that could have been used. You see, there's also going to be a fall in the production capacity of the country. Yeah, these are people that have been gainfully employed in production of goods and services, but when they are idle, see, it's also going to slow down the development of the country, the economic development of the country. Because when there is a fall in the production capacity and there are idle resources,